Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox and I'm coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 7, Episode 4, so let's get to it, shall we? Alright you guys, so to put it real plain, Candy feels like her team is lacking and she is frustrated. She's sharing these same sentiments with Todd, and Todd is frustrated with her. You know, it's like, why I got all this team and it ain't nothing getting done? Great question. Okay, so they go and talk to the team and they let them know, listen, I'm paying y'all for nothing. The projects are falling by the wayside. You guys don't know how to prioritize. You get on one thing and you drop everything else. And in the meantime, nothing is getting finished. Carmen does agree, okay, that there are some issues, that they are lacking in some areas, and maybe they need to start setting deadlines and, you know, trying to meet the deadlines. That's a good start. So it sounds like everybody is pretty much on the same page as Candy and Todd, except for Don Juan. Don Juan is over there quiet now. I was like, oh, okay, Don, don't get all up in your feelings. So Candy is just trying to explain to Don, at the end of the day, I depend on you to make sure all my stuff comes together. And you know, Don Juan was just like, I always make sure that your shit comes together. Okay, this is a hard situation because you guys we all know that the biggest problem here is that Candy has all her friends working for her. And it's cool to be able to employ your friends. I would do the same if I was able to. And, you know, my friends wanted to work for me. But it makes shit real. It's easy for everybody to just be a little bit more lackadaisical because the line is blurred. So, yeah, you got people that you trust working for you, but then the urgency is not there. When Don was talking to Candy, I was having a hard time trying to figure out whose side I was on. Mostly, I think I was on Candy and Todd's side. You know, I do feel like Don Juan's was just being super extra sensitive. And, yeah, like she said, it was some ego in there for sure. Because, really, at the end of the day, that's such an overused expression, I know, but at the end of it all, Candy is the boss. Okay, it doesn't matter if Todd is in her ear or not. Okay, whatever it is that she says really just goes. So, you know, Don fussing at her and saying how he's always been ride or die, and, you know, he's loyal to a fault, and that he didn't go to his mother's wedding, but he was at Candy's, and he didn't go to his mother's birthday thing, but he was at Candy's. Okay, that's really on you, Don. Because, like Todd was saying, you are only as good as your team. Why the fuck you gonna be a manager and have this team of people working under you, whether or not you pick them or not? Okay, you have these people working under you, then they should all be able to toe the line if you're not there. A good manager is able to delegate and make sure that it gets done, and they don't have to be out there working hard. I mean, I remember my supervisor used to tell me that all the time, and she ran a smooth ship, okay, before she retired. And she ain't did shit. Okay, but she got all of the pay and she got all of the, you know, the accolades for it. And really, that is a sign of a good manager. If you doing all the goddamn work and everybody else working under you, but they ain't doing shit, okay, you the only one stressed out, tired, aggravated, okay, but you at the end of it all, you can say that I did it. Yeah, well, that's not really the best way to do it. You should be able to go to your mama's wedding. You should be able to go to your mama's birthday bash and tell somebody else to do this and be comfortable in knowing that the job will get done while you're gone. And when you come back, you can step right back in without missing a beat. That's all Todd was trying to tell Don, you know. And I think that Don was so offended that Todd was coming in saying these things. And yeah, it might not have been Todd's place. I mean, he doesn't run Candy Coded Entertainment or whatever it's called, but I still think that what Todd was saying was right. Okay, and sometimes we hold on to shit, because I do the same thing. We hold on to shit real tight because we don't feel like anybody else can do it. But you know what is, listen, you get fired, somebody else is gonna step in there and take the job. It's always somebody there that can do the job. Okay, never feel like you're not replaceable. So it's just like, you only do what you can. You become a good manager, you do what you can, and that is it. You know, or at least get some balance in there. If you're working extra hard and doing all this, you know, when the next project comes where you feel like you can back up a little bit, then do that. Okay, if it's a project that's really a big thing that you know you need to kind of hold on to a little bit tighter, then do that. But if it's something that you don't have to just be all in it all the time, then back the fuck up. So yeah, I was with Candy when she was just like, Don is just tripping. I need you to check your ego at the door because we ride or die here at the candy factory. And he needs to start back riding with the team. Yeah, Don. I love you, baby, but you're going to have to stop being so damn sensitive, okay? Yeah. Sometimes truth is a bitter pill to swallow. Okay, you guys, so I can say right now that I do like Claudia. I like her so far on the show. She's playing her role really well on this show. Come in, okay, don't ruffle too many feathers. Okay, and just be rational. And that's the way she's been. I was cracking up when her and Kenya and Cynthia was shopping, and she was talking about her ugly toes. I was just like, well, I always can appreciate when somebody is able to laugh at themselves and not take shit so seriously all the time. And the best way to be is to bring negative shit to everybody's attention ahead of time. Okay, so if you got fucked up toes, you're gonna be on the red carpet and your toes might get seen. Okay, you let everybody know ahead of time. Okay, that way you take the steam out that shit. Somebody say it and you be like, oh, I already knew that. I done been said I had ugly ass toes. So she is smart. And somebody that's smart like that, I ride with Claudia so far. Now, as far as her being on the radio, she's glad to be there. She's been a model and she's been on like game shows and everything. And people have always put so much interest into the way she looks. She likes the fact that she's able to be on the radio and just express herself and people listen to her instead of judging, what she looks like by her appearance all the time. So she likes being there. It's just one problem. It's Porsha. Okay, and we're going to talk about that goddamn Porsha in a little while. Basically, the problem is that Porsha, well, when she first met Claudia, it seemed like everything was all good. And somewhere down the line, Porsha found out that Claudia was friends with Kenya, so all of a sudden, she done got shady and she decided to not really talk to Claudia. Just basic, hey, how you doing when we at the radio station? Claudia's like, I noticed that she's been, really ignoring me. So when she was out with Cynthia and Kenya and she's telling them about it, both Cynthia and Kenya tell her, well, maybe you can just sit down and talk to her. Okay, maybe you guys can kind of come to some sort of agreement. Just try to iron shit out. Don't expect too much. Okay, Cynthia gives her the warning, make sure you got your claws on deck just in case. But just see. Now, Porsha. Y'all, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to like Porsha this season. I was really trying for Porsha because I feel like, she was justified in the way she acted in that reunion show. Y'all don't be in here telling me anything different. That is what the fuck I think. But what I will say is somewhere on this break, somebody done got in Porsha's ear and got her thinking crazy. She should have been able to play this shit up. And she just too stupid to figure that out. Okay, so instead of, go on and victimize yourself. We all kind of felt like you was the victim in that. So instead of her playing that up, what she decides to do is take the diva role. Okay, and we don't like nasty divas. People don't like people who are just outright nasty for no fucking reason. She might have a reason to be nasty to Kenya, but she don't have really a reason to be nasty to Claudia. Claudia hasn't done anything to her. So they work together. Porsha points out the fact that I'm on TV, she's on radio. She's already letting us know that, it's some distinction between the two of them. They're both pretty girls. So, I don't know why we even have to go there with that. I'm sure she knows that Claudia is a good looking girl as well. But for her to take it as far as she did, when Claudia tried to approach her 2 times. Okay, the first time at the radio station, first of all, let me tell you something. After Porsha treated me the way she did at the radio station, I've been like, fuck that bitch. I'm not fixing to try to sit down and talk to her. Maybe that was the TV show telling her to let's try it one more time. But, yeah, it only take one time for you to ignore me. Okay, and then I'm like, fuck you. Okay, so I admire the fact that Claudia was trying to be, take the sensible route and, maybe point out that you got some problems with me because I'm friends with Kenya, but, at least let us try to make it, make a go of it, just give me a chance. She is asking this girl. I'm telling you, there's no problems between you and I. Okay, give me a chance to prove myself. Okay, you don't even have to say that much, but I thought it was cool enough for Claudia to say that. For Porsha to get, I just was like, oh my God, no, this bitch is not. She'd have got good and cussed out, but Claudia's playing it right. She's playing it well. Okay, because all you got to do, a lot of times you can sit back and let a fool be a fucking fool. You ain't got to do nothing. Okay, and that's exactly what Porsha did. She come traipsing into the goddamn restaurant. She's all cutesy and whatever. Alright, but from the very beginning, she's very fake and very phony. Hi, you look good. Oh, that's my favorite color, blue. Or whatever the fuck she said, Cynthia... What is this child's name? I'm so riled up. Claudia is trying to talk to her. Porsha is just somewhere else. Okay, what the fuck? Can you focus, stupid ass? Okay, look at me right here. We talking. She's talking about the ice. She want the lemons in her water. She want to do this and that. I was just like, yeah, I don't like people like that. Okay, you being disrespectful. This girl is trying to talk to you. At least communicate what the fuck you want to say. So when Claudia asked her, So when Claudia, it's a big old van right next to me, just like one of the old school vans, and I just feel like these people are watching me. They got the door open and everything. There's a whole bunch of people in the van. Anyway, oh, somebody is coming back to the van now. So when Claudia asked her, you know, I just feel like as two sisters, maybe you and Kenya could sit down and talk to each other, you know, maybe hash some things out because you guys are both doing your thing and there's no reason why we can't just all coexist. That's basically what Claudia was saying. And, you know, here go Porsha. She done got real riled up now. She was just like, you don't need to know a goddamn thing about me and Kenya and what happened and whoa, 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 and doom, 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 because you a whole nother person. You had nothing to do with me and Kenya's relationship, so you should just stay out of it. I was just like, where are you going here? Y'all hear the van back up? You know it's old school, and it's a regular van. It ain't no like. Anyway, I was just like, now why are you getting this upset? Okay, I understand that Kenya still ruffles her feathers and everything, but what you need to just say is, look, I prefer not to even talk about Kenya. We here talking, she just really annoys me. Just the name itself bothers me, so I would just really rather not talk. But you know, for her to start up with this goddamn Tom Ford perfume and putting it on her arms, you know what? Yeah, no. And she's so stupid because she wasn't asking you about you and Kenya's relationship. She was asking if you guys would sit down. So if you would fucking listen instead of just sitting there being cute with your big eyes and your long hair and all of that, you would just be able to communicate how you felt. And I just cannot stand snobby people. I cannot. Whenever a person thinks that they are better than you just because we on the fucking same show here, this is exactly why she lost her damn peach. Okay, sitting up there with that foolishness because it was so unnecessary. She's so dumb. I don't know who's in her team that told her to play this way, but it's a bad look. It's a bad look. I can't stand for somebody who can't think for themselves, and and it's obvious that somebody done got to her. So I know I'm jumping around you guys a little bit, but I wanted to leave this part for last. So, you know, Kandi took Phaedra to the spa because, you know, Phaedra's stressed out about everything. And it's been a while since the girls have gotten together. So Kandi, Phaedra, Porsha, and Nene go hang out at a spa together. So, you know, they got to catch up with each other. Okay, we get Porsha. Porsha's there and she's all extra sassy and she's telling them about the confrontation that she and Cynthia had and, you know, how Cynthia did her robot read and they was just like, robot read? What is that? And she was just like, oh, that's when you read off of a list of things that your husband told you. That shit was kind of funny because I could just see Peter sitting down with Cynthia. It's like, okay, so what you say here is you keep your name out my mouth, I keep my name out your mouth. And then since we on the subject of Cynthia, then Nene says how, you know, she was blindsided at the reunion and she did not know that Cynthia was going to come at her like that. And, you know, since they had this great friendship, she did miss her at the beginning, but now she's totally over it. I'm just like, fine. Okay? Why people act like friends can't not be friends no more? I mean, fuck, sometimes friendships just don't work. Okay? It's a season. So, I mean, I don't know why we can't move on and act like they was fucking married or something, had kids and all of that. When Kandi said that she didn't remember why Nene and Kenya even fell out, you guys, I promise you I was on the same page. I was just like, what happened exactly? I was really thinking hard. Then I was like, okay, all I can really come up with was that masquerade ball. Like, is that to me, if that's what Nene is upset with Kenya about, I'm sure all the other residual shit that happened after that. But if that was the initial problem, to me, that's nothing to really be having no whole full season of I Hate Kenya campaign. It doesn't make sense to me. And I know I said it last season, like, this is really not that big of a deal. I don't understand why people can't apologize. So, you know, that's the flaw in Nene. Her ego is so big that she can't just let shit go sometimes, you know. I just feel like Nene don't like the girl. Maybe she was feeling a little threat. I don't know if that is or isn't what it was. She doesn't have no need to feel a threat because they love Nene on Real Housewives of Atlanta. That Bravo team, they love Nene. So it wasn't even no need for her to be that way. But anyway, so then they start talking about the whole thing with Apollo and how he lied. And Nene was just like, oh, please. You mean to tell me that you really believe that he was lying? I think he's lying about lying. And I was just like, oh my God. You guys, I'm so tired of that whole storyline. Okay? What the fuck? You think he gonna sit there and lie about lying now? You know, I know a few people in my comments said the same thing, but it don't make sense to me. Okay, especially when Apollo sat down with Peter and really explained why he did it. Okay, he felt like he was backed into a corner. Okay, Kenya was trying to make a big deal out of the fact that he had texted her instead of him just saying, well, bitch, I text you because we was trying to get this whole DVD thing together. You know, he felt that he needed to do. He was like, well, fuck, you want to take it there and act like it was something? We gonna take it all the way there. Okay, now the shit was stupid, definitely so. But I can see it if I had a stupid person's brain. I would see where he was trying. You know, he was trying to go with it. Okay, so we know Apollo is stupid. So all that makes sense to me. Okay, so why we got to keep on going back and forth about he lied about lying? Like, okay, didn't he lie about lying about lying? Yeah, I just know. I'm tired of it. So Candy, because she feels like she still needs to do what's right in her mind, she meets up with Kenya. They go working out together. So after the workout is over, you know, Candy is just as messy as she can be. I was like, oh, I ain't never realized this girl was so messy. I mean, people have been saying it for the last couple of seasons, but I'm really seeing it this season. I'm here for it, though. I went to the spa the other day with Nene and Porsha and Phaedra. And Porsha and Nene feel like he was lying about lying. They don't feel like that whole thing was a lie. They feel like he just said that to piss her off. I was just like, why is Candy telling her all this? Oh, you so fucking messy, Candy. You can just say you sorry and keep on stretching. Fuck, you got to get all this going for, okay? And then, of course, Kenya, she's just upset about the whole thing. I'm telling you, I can see why she would be as well. This is really stupid to me. Okay, so anyway, Kenya gets up and she's crying and she walks off. So, you know, Candy was just like, I didn't expect for it to be all it is. I was just like, yes, you did, Candy. You knew this child is tired of hearing it. How else you thought she was going? You at least knew she was going to get mad. So, you know, Kenya ran off to the bathroom and Candy follows her in there, is trying to calm her down. And, you know, Kenya's just like, oh, that's okay, go on. She pushes the camera out the way, but they close the door, but you know, they still got their mics on. So, you know, Kenya, she's just like, I'm sick of these bitches. They just want to make me look bad at any cost. The man finally admitted he did what he did after 2 years, and they have been fucking calling me every fucking whore in the book, making me look bad. I got my nieces calling me. It's like, Auntie, why did you do this? Auntie, why did you do that? And fucking around with my fucking life, and then you're gonna sit up there and say some more stupid shit. I'm not the fucking liar. I was just like, poor Kenya, her sad. I admit, I'm kind of up to here too with the whole story, because even if he did lie, we ain't gonna know unless he get out of jail in 8 years and say that he did lie. Okay? And nobody's gonna be watching them in 8 years. So I'm just like, who cares at this point? Okay, he said he lied. Just accept it for that, because it don't even really have nothing to do with Nene, Porsha, or Candy. If Phaedra is the only one that should be, considering whether or not he's telling the truth or lying. Other than that, everybody else, just let that fucking shit go. Get you some goddamn business and go tend to it and get the fuck out of all of this. Yeah, I promise you wouldn't even know. It was 40 degrees on Thanksgiving. It's fucking 70 degrees. I'm hot. I got my flannel shirt on. Burning up. Love and Hip Hop will be up tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do Soul Train Awards video. I'm either going to do Soul Train or I'm going to do Top of the Blogs. I'm not going to do both. I know somebody's going to say, just put Soul Train in Top of the Blogs. Yeah, I'm only doing 2 more videos this week. Okay, so y'all let me know what you want me to do down there. All right, and that's it. Y'all remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.